Hey friends, it's Michael Kostroff with Thoughts for the Week for actors that I do every week. Behind me is my repainted wall. And there's a lesson in everything. I always find them. This has been what I call a procrastination project. I've been wanting to repaint it for a long time. You might remember the last one was sort of a spotty mottled. Didn't like it. This repainted wall illustrates a couple of principles that I want to share with you that I found very valuable. The first one is what is called the 3-foot toss. And for any of you who haven't heard this story from me, I'll tell it to you now. I had a friend who was a psychology student, and every year at her school, they did the same experiment. They played ring toss. And you know how that works? You toss the thing three feet, you get 3 points, 5 feet, you get 5 points, 20 feet, you get 20 points. And the reason that they did this experiment is that every year, without exception, the people who left the game with the most points were the ones who went for the 3-foot toss again and again and again. Now, what the fuck is Michael talking about ring toss? Well, when you have something that you're procrastinating about or something that feels like a big task, do the 3-foot toss. Do the simple thing. The simple thing, like get a little more information, call it a day. You're overwhelmed about, let's say, looking for an agent. What's the simplest little tiny granular piece? You could make a list of things that you would be looking for in an agent. That's one tiny, tiny little step. You could go on Facebook and see if anybody likes their agent. Take the task in bite-sized steps. So I've been putting this off, and one day I thought, well, I'll just tape off the edges. I'm just going to do that. Nothing else. Just tape the edges in preparation for painting, which I'm not going to do today. And then one day I had some time to kill, which is unusual for me. And I was like, well, what's the nearest paint store? All right, I'll just go, buy some paint. And then before you knew it, I had a painted wall. Baby steps. And like everything, it ended up being not that deep. Second principle is this. This wall's not perfect. It's not a professional level job. There are places where there's maybe a little splatter of paint on the molding. There are places where the paint didn't quite make it to the edges. But what it is done. And this is very important for those of you who, as we go back to self-taping, some of you get really obsessive. And there's a great principle called don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Or as I like to put it, sometimes done is better than perfect. This wall's done. I mean, no, it's not perfect, but it's ready. I like it so much better than my old one. I usually do about 3 takes. 3 takes where I get the lines right. And then I choose one of them and send it. Sometimes I just send whatever is the last take without looking at them because I figure that's the one where I went, okay, I feel good about it. And then you're on with your day. You blew a word, it's not the end of the world. You had to pause to remember something, you had to look down at your paper, not the end of the world. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. There's no such thing as a perfect take or a perfect self-tape. There's no such thing. You know that. There isn't a magic performance that's going to guarantee you the role. Somebody's going to pick. They may or may not have good taste. Who knows? Embrace the mystery of this stuff, as I've said to you in the past. So let's cross our fingers and hope that you have self-tapes to accomplish. Sometimes having them finished is better than having whatever you think perfect might be. Because the truth is, the uncomfortable truth is, you might get chosen for a job where you didn't think you did the best audition. And you might get overlooked for a job where you feel like you were perfection. So take that off the table, trying to get it exactly perfect, and get it done. Sometimes that's the best choice. Anyway, that's a little lesson from my repainted wall. 3-foot toss. What's the 3-foot toss? What's the most tiny increment of solution you can do right now that you go, oh, that's easy, that's nothing. Do that. For me, it's often, let me just make a list. I'll just make a list, call it done for the day. And the second is, Get it done. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. I hope these ideas are helpful to you. And I will be back next week with more thoughts. Oh, by the way, today I have I'm teaching in minutes. I only have time for one take on this. So this is it. This is it. And it'll be done. And I'll have my video for the week. So there, see, I'm living the advice I give. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye.